You're full of surprises. That device on your arm is absorbing the thermal energy for use in your body. The thermal energy and your arm will be our little secret. It's complicated.
Now this is a fairly different sort of game, and on that side of things it's fairly difficult to review as well. When most gamers think Capcom, they think Street Fighter or Resident Evil, but Capcom's first addition to the next-gen market is a fair distance from the style of their previous games. This isn't at all a bad thing. In fact, half of Lost Planet's positive facets come with its unique style and art design, as well as its original approach to an all-too-unexplored genre. Unlike the survival horror setting of the Resident Evil Biohazard series of games, Lost Planet is a straight third-person shooter, and not only that, but it's a very good one. Lost Planet is a futuristic science fiction game set around a massive colonization effort humanity has undertaken on an icy planet known as EDN-3. The native aliens of this planet, a race of bug-like creatures known as the Acrid, aren't all that happy about this, and so naturally, a war begins between the two races. You'll take on the role of Wayne, a soldier with a bad case of amnesia who gets picked up by a ragtag group of miscreants, and then decides to help them in their quest to terraform the planet. Basically, this planet is colder than a witch's tit, and as a result, you're constantly losing thermal energy. This lava-like substance that humans use as both fuel and a means to survive the harsh Arctic environment. So one gameplay element is maintaining your thermal energy level by collecting pools of thermal energy from dead enemies to keep yourself from freezing to death. And it also serves as a means to refill your health. This might seem like something that could quickly get annoying, but I actually found that it doesn't really add or subtract much from the gameplay at all. Plus, with all the crazy action happening around you, it's kind of embarrassing to admit you died from exposure rather than getting blasted into mincemeat by a rocket launcher. Lost Planet's presentation is outstanding. The graphics easily stand up to other next-gen games that are out there, and this particularly is one of the game's strongest points. The smoke from explosions, awesome lighting effects, real-time motion blur, jaw-dropping visuals, and well-crafted level design are as top-notch as any next-gen game comes, and give you a much better sense that you're, getting all $60 worth in terms of aspect ratio. So it's definitely pleasing to the eye. So what about gameplay? Well, I had a few complaints here and there, and I'll get to those in a sec, but first I'd like to point out that in my opinion, there's a lot more good than there is bad with Lost Planet's gameplay. You have a large arsenal of weapons available, as well as a unique grapple tool that you can use to quickly pull yourself in any one direction. Though, I gotta point out that this grapple doesn't allow you to swing around the levels Batman style, so don't get too excited about it. But it also serves as a unique means of saving yourself from falling off cliffs, so it's definitely a welcome addition. Enemies basically fall into two groups, obviously the various Acrid, and then snow pirates. The Acrid are extremely fun to take out because they come at you in so many different forms that you never really have the problem of fighting the same types of enemies over and over again. And some of the Acrid literally come at you in swarms, so you're just totally surrounded, and it gives you this really hectic sense of combat. The game also does a very good job of providing you with a satisfying arsenal of weapons that are as varied as the enemies you fight, and as a result keeps the shooting and the killing interesting from start to finish. On the other side of the coin are the Snow Pirates, which aren't quite as fun to take out as the Acrid. Snow Pirates basically have all the same types of weapons that are available to you, so unlike the Acrid, it's more of a stand-up fight than a bug hunt. This is great because there's more explosions happening, but it's bad because the bad AI problems begin to surface the first time you fight a Snow Pirate. Enemy AI isn't particularly smart, and that tends not to matter in the case of the Acrid, because at least you could argue that dumb animal name. But with the Snow Pirates, you'd think they'd at least have the sense to dive out of the way when I toss a grenade their way, since they're supposed to be sentient human beings.